Hey, welcome to And Then She Bounced Back, the podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Shanae. Y'all know how we do when we get divorced. We drop that last name and we start going by our first and middle name. Who gonna check me though? I am your host, Kim. I am super excited to go on this journey with you. Welcome to the official episode 1 of And Then She Bounced Back. This has been a long time coming. Those of you may or may not know, I originally started something called the Bounce Back Queen back in about 2021. A little bit after I filed for divorce, I had this concept of bouncing back, and people will be like, oh, you always bounce back, like you always come back, you always figure it out. And so I had this concept around being the bounce back queen. And I even was getting ready to launch a whole book about being the bounce back queen, and did a photo shoot, had a book cover, did all the things. And something just didn't sit right in my spirit. I felt like the book was coming from a place of being unhealed. It was coming from a place of trying to prove that I was okay, and I wasn't, because it had only been like 2 or 3 months since I had legally separated. And so it wasn't a good place. It wasn't a good time. I look back at the cover of even the book, and I just don't even look like that woman anymore. I look into her eyes and I'm like, I was so sad. I was grieving. And so I put the whole concept of the bounce back queen on the shelf, because I felt like it wasn't true to who I wanted to be, who I wanted to become, the woman that I wanted to become. And so I took time to heal. I took time to chill out, not create things, not launch things, but really sit at the feet of God and figure out who I was as not a wife, not a mom, not all of the accomplishments I had did, but just who am I? And God helped reveal so much of my identity, and He's still doing that to this day. But it allowed me to really heal. And so when He brought back to my attention the whole bounce back concept, it was different this time around. It felt different. I felt like this was a direct reflection of who I am. I really did bounce back, but not bounce back to the version I was before I was married or before the divorce or all those things. But I felt like I had truly bounced back to the woman that God had always designed for me to be. The woman that He wanted me to be before He ever formed me in my mother's womb. The one that He always predestined for me to become. I bounced back to her truly as a daughter. And I wanted to be able to share that with so many other women who may have been facing life's challenges and hiccups and just plain BS. I wanted to be able to share what it really truly looked like to bounce back. And so this concept of And Then She Bounced Back came up. I truly believe that it was from God. It started off as an interactive journal for women who were going through divorce, and then it started blossoming into so many other things. And this podcast is just one of those things. I'm excited to be able to come up with some other concepts and share some other things with you guys later. But this podcast is definitely one of the ways that I just want to share my heart, really. I think that there are so many things that God has brought me through, and so many things that He shared with me over the years and that He's still sharing with me. And I want to be able to share that with you, because if you're anything like me, when life throws you curveballs, you be like, now what the fuck did I do to deserve this? And then you wonder, how did I get here? And how the heck am I going to get myself up out of here? And that's a confusing and very lonely place to be. And I want you to know that you're not alone, and that you will get through it, that you will bounce back, and that you will overcome every single obstacle that the enemy has placed in your way, and every obstacle that the Lord has even allowed to come your way, because He knew that it would grow you. He knew that it would stretch your character and build you to be the woman that He called you to be. You're not by yourself in this. And so there are some key things that I've learned on my bounce back journey. I call them the 5 pillars now, but there were five 5 areas, I guess you could say 5 categories that I began to work on over the last few years that helped me truly bounce back. And I want to share those with you ladies. Is that right? Share that with you ladies? Share that with you ladies, yes. Over the course of this podcast. And I call them the 5 pillars, but you can call them the 5 categories or 5 areas that you really work on to bounce back. And that is finances. You want to work. So I always say you want to work on yourself spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, and mentally. And so, in your mental space, you want to make sure you have a therapist. In your spiritual space, you want to make sure that you are with the Lord, that you're praying and worshiping your way through this life hiccups. In your finances are financially. You want to make sure that you get your ish in order, get your money right. Make sure you have life insurance and that you're covered and protected. Your physical body, so the physical part of this bounce back. Without health, you have nothing. And so are you exercising? Are you getting up and walking? Are you eating right? Like, what are you doing to make sure that you have what you need to live this life? And then emotionally, like, how are you dealing with your emotions? Who are you talking to concerning your emotions? How are you coping with them? Are you just coping with them, or are you actually processing through them? And so those are kind of like the 5 pillars that I had to really tackle with the Lord in order to truly bounce back. And I'm still working on those. Like, I have not arrived in no means. Okay. No means. I am very much still working in all those areas every day. Okay. Every day I'm working on some pillar, if not 3 or more. Okay. Because let's be real. When I finally arrive, I'm probably going to be dead. And so I want to be able to share all that with you guys. I want to share my journey, the journey that I was on, the journey that I'm still on. And I really want us to walk this together. Because I truly feel like when you have, and we use the word community all the time, community. But I truly do believe that when you have people to lock arms with you and say, hey, you got this. You're not by yourself. You're not the only one going through this. I've been there, or I'm in it with you. It makes the process so much easier to go through than when you're going through it and it feels like you're alone. I remember so many days when I was going through my divorce feeling like I was absolutely by myself. And it does not feel good. You thought you had community, and the reality is that it's not that people don't love and care for you. It's just that sometimes when people aren't going through the same things that you're going through, or maybe they're going through a great season and you're going through a really low season, it's so hard for people to connect with you. That's just the reality of it. I mean, think about the times that you were on a really, really high time in your life and someone close to you was really low. How often did you connect with them? And it wasn't intentionally, you didn't intentionally ignore them. It's just that's life and that's people. And sometimes we forget what it's like to be in the trenches until we're in it. And so it's nothing like having someone that says, hey, I'm there. I'm right there with you. I get it. And so I'm hoping that this podcast makes you feel like that. I pray that this podcast gives you a sense of hope. I hope that it gives you some laughter because, I can be funny every now and then. I hope it gives you wisdom because I truly believe the Holy Spirit speaks to me and he gives me wisdom, especially when we ask. And I pray that you find a friend that you can lean on, even though you may not know me personally. I pray that you feel like that's my girl. Like she be talking about some real stuff here. And we're going to go on this journey together. I have so much to share with you. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to all of the things that we're going to do together, including something that I'm going to do kind of like an exclusive announcement to. But and I'm going to be real with y'all, okay? So your girl used to launch things all the time, right? I used to launch. That was my jam. But somewhere in between going through this divorce and starting my life completely over, that has been pretty nerve-wracking for me to do. I have really sat on my hands when it comes to a lot of things, including this. So I'm even a little nervous on doing this podcast. I'm truly doing it in obedience. I'm not advertising it. I'm just recording because I believe that the Lord told me that I needed to use my voice more this year. I actually feel like he's been telling me that for years, but this is the year I'm going to be obedient. Okay. So judge yourself. And so I'm definitely nervous about this because this is not going to be something that I highly, advertise or promote or sponsor. I'm just going to be obedient. I'm going to record and I'm going to upload and I'm going to allow the Lord to do what only He can do. But I say all that to say that there's some other things that the Lord wants me to do this year. And I'm going to make like a exclusive announcement about it. I will promote this at some point, but you get the exclusive. I'm going to start what's called the One Step at a Time challenge this February. And it's really a 30-day journey to us bouncing back. It's a walking and healing journey. And so we are literally going to physically walk while also getting our mental and emotional and spiritual life right. And so I'm super excited about this. I wanted to give you a heads up because I want you to be on the journey with us. I'm going to have some more information on this, but until then, I want you to prepare your heart, prepare your mind, prepare your body to really go on a journey that I believe the Lord wants us to go on for the next 30 days. It's going to be a beautiful journey. It won't come without its hiccups, but it will be a great journey. So I wanted to give you the exclusive on that. One, so you can be excited, but really so you can hold me accountable to doing what the Lord told me to do. Because here's the thing, I'm not here to come to you guys saying I arrived and this is what I do and blah, blah, blah. I'm the bounce back queen. Like, no, I'm literally doing all this. This journey is as real to me as it is to you. Like, I need to be held accountable. I said that I was going to do this podcast episode once a week. I recorded the first unofficial episode January 2nd. Okay. It's January 14th. So it's one of those things where we are going to hold each other accountable to do and become all of who God called us to be. And so that's why I'm really announcing that too. So you can hold me accountable to doing what I say and doing what I believe the Lord told me to do. And we're going to do that together. So all right. Well, that is all for the first episode. I hope that you join me on this journey. I have so much to share with you and talk about. If you think that this is something that you want to be a part of and you're excited about it, let me know. Leave me a comment. And also share with somebody who you feel may need to bounce back. We are all bouncing back from something. So whatever you're bouncing back from, whether it is a breakup, from a relationship, a divorce, job loss, whatever it is you find yourself having to heal from or bounce back from, you're welcome to this journey. You are welcomed. That's all I got. This has been great. I'm super excited to go on this journey with you. Until next time, I'll see you soon.